Aquarius, and welcome to your November 2020 reading with me. I can hardly believe we're doing a November reading already. A lot of you will feel, great, let's move this year into the background and get ourselves into 2021. So I'm not sure of the astrological lineup for 2021 yet, but I think it's still pretty full on and feisty. And as we move into November, we are still on the treadmill, if you like, of our intense astrological lineup of this year as well. So we have a lot happening in November and then a lot happening in December too, and I think these will affect us all at varying levels. Some of the things are Mercury stations direct on the 3rd. On the 11th of November we have that beautiful magical portal of the 11-11 energy. We have a Friday the 13th, and on the same day Mars stations direct. We have a new moon in Scorpio. Then on the 28th, Neptune stations direct. And on the 30th, we have a full moon lunar eclipse in Gemini. Now that lunar eclipse is the beginning of a pair of eclipses. This next one is on December the 14th, and it's a solar eclipse in Sagittarius. So we're coming back into the, I think, sometimes arduous energy of eclipse season, and they certainly bring out things that we are going to be dusting off one way or another. Now, before I start your reading, I did some intuitive work for you, and these were the messages I got. The first one was quite interesting. It said there's a healing to take place, and it feels peaceful and love related. And then I said blessings of abundance as well, which is rather nice. Now you also got the message, don't compromise on a wise decision as you will be triumphant. And I also got that animals are important. Some of you may get new animals. You may also get new animal guides, and dogs and cats may play a role in your life. Then I said pause and pray. I'm not sure what that means and what reflection that would have in your own life. And it also said a child may be relevant. Now some of you may be pausing and praying for a child one way or another. So with such a diversity of messages that came in for you before we even started your reading, I'll be interested to see what cards you have actually received for the month. Now initially when I started Scorpio's reading, I was going to be doing certain cards for certain aspects of life, but I seem to have gone by the wayside for that. But anyhow, let's start with this first deck here, which is the John Holland Psychic Tarot deck. Then this deck is the magical messages of the fairies, and the third deck we will use for now is the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck. So we will put these over here and we will start with this deck. This is for Aquarius for November 2020. Now, as we move into November, we are really heading into the energetic field of 2021. So we start to leave behind 2020, which is possibly a good thing, and we start to need to set our intention field on what we want, where we're headed, what we expect for the next year. And of course, if we do this globally, we start to shape the format and structure of next year as a community, as a global collective conscious energy field. But coming back to you guys, this is Aquarius and this is your reading for November. Stand your ground. This is often to do with our career or our creative sector. This is a Wands card. And it does literally mean exactly what it's saying there. Sometimes it might feel as if you are being forced into a corner, or as if your freedom is being a little bit negated, or as if you have like just other things pushing you into a corner, and that you want to be heard, you want to have some freedom. So the message here is, do take a stand on something that's important to you, or on a way to get out of a situation or to move into more freedom. And it could be around a career, or, as I say, a creative, passionate hobby or something that you're doing. So we start with a 7. So this is for Aquarius for November. What else is in store for them? Lots of shuffling going on. Aquarius, November. Nice. The material and spiritual prosperity, the Six of Pentacles. Discontent and boredom, the Four of Cups. Hope is the Star card, and emotional loss is the Five of Cups. Let's see what else is in store here for you. The Star card on the left gives off a vibrant, potent power of energy to all of the other cards in the deck. So this is beginning to become a pattern that I'm seeing for November. There must be something that comes up collectively that causes a little bit of maybe tempestuous energy or a variance of some type, because I'm seeing a lot of these type of cards coming out, like the swords cards, and feelings like this also arising. So I think November might have something in store that's a bit unusual collectively for everyone. But because you guys have got the Hope card or the Star card, it is embellishing all of this with a really lighter energy field and like a protective source, if you like. This card often is protection from the cosmic sources or guardian angels or angelic realms. It can also talk about the need to bring balance into a situation, and maybe this first card up here, the Stand Your Ground, is where the balance was required right from the get-go, about bringing yourself back out of a corner or feeling as though you are in the middle and firmly entrenched and have the power again to regain some sort of power. This one here is a great card, the Six of Pentacles. This is about being in the cycle of life of giving and receiving. Sometimes you're on the receiving end of something that is benevolent, and it could be spiritual prosperity. It could be a raising of your frequency. It could be a feeling of, you know, just freedom or happiness or exuberance about something in life, maybe an opportunity that's coming your way. It could be material in as much that you come into a small windfall, you may earn some extra money, you may receive a pay rise, you may even be employed in a job if you haven't been employed prior to this. It may be that you're left an inheritance or a will, or that you've applied for a loan and a bank manager says, yes, you can have a loan. On the other hand, it may be that you are the person who is able to give money out to someone else, and that you are offering support both in the emotional realm and in the physical, financial sector to other people. Perhaps you could be seen as a mentor or someone who is strong because you are able to stand your ground and you have the strength that you give out to others, helping them. And that could also be where the star power is coming from. I noticed these two cards together, and they both show a person on a balcony, which I think is a little bit unusual. And this place, he's looking out and really enjoying you can just feel his strength and dominion and acknowledgement and gratitude and ideas pouring forth and success. This one, he's turned inward with his head down and looking bored and discontent. So it's almost to me as if you've got the opportunity to choose one or the other in this month of November. Or if perhaps, depending on how you manage to stand your ground or balance things out, could lead you into either this disposition or this disposition. So I get the feeling it may take a little bit of work as the month goes on. So maybe that's what the don't compromise on a wise decision, as you will be triumphant. If you compromise, you may end up here being a bit bored with whatever it is you end up with. So I'm thinking that you need to, in a very gentle way, stand up for your rights and stand your ground, and then you may find yourself in this position of it is powerful, and being in the flow of the universe and being on that receptive end of success and gratitude and receiving material and spiritual prosperity. These two fives down here could be denoting that you're ready to walk away from something or someone, and it might be because you have stood your ground again. It could be that the Hope card or the Star card offers some sort of support around this issue, but this can mean that there is a little bit of tension between other people and yourself, and that you have got to a point where you're saying, actually no, I'm going to stand my ground, I want to be heard, don't tell me what to think and don't tell me how to feel, because I'm ready to move away. And this can happen especially when this card is here, and sometimes it's can be a bit tempestuous and there can be strong words said. Now this came out for Capricorn, I think, just before. So check your moon and rising signs as well and see if any of the messages that come in are doubling up or matching up. Because if they are, it could be prudent to be thinking about how you want to handle any situations surrounding you to do with other people and what they're doing with your life, or how they're trying to make you feel, or push you into decisions you might not be wanting to take. This one too is about walking away from something and leaving it behind. So these three over here are kind of connected in some way, and it's sometimes not being that content around your relationship sector and feeling as though there is like a flatness, as if people aren't listening to you, or they haven't supported you, or they're not following through on the things that they said they would do, or the things that you would like them to do, or behave in certain manners. I'm feeling that there's something funny that goes on in November that I haven't necessarily got all the answers to yet. Let's see here for Aquarius what is going on in terms of November, and this is from the Fairy deck. Now I really like this card. This is really great. It's a business venture. Trust and follow through on a new business idea or career opportunity. That is fantastic for those of you looking to uplift or change out your career sector. And this is a very positive card. These are cheeky little elves or fairies or pixies. But this goes really well with this card, and also brings in the energy of this card as well, which he calls the Hope card. So if any of you are looking for a career change, or if you're looking to start a new business, or you've got ideas about propositions, focus on the power of these three, because combined, these are very positive cards. This one does also talk about bringing in balance, so just remember that. Some of these people over here that you might be moving away from, they could have been potential business partners that you decide, no, don't think it's going to work. So just check who you have around you if you are, forming new ideas or concepts or partnerships, because there's definitely real positives in the air. But I think you've got to sort through a few, what would you call them? I don't know if fakers is the right word, but there's a few people around who aren't quite suited for some of the things that you have in store or that you're wanting to get done. Yeah, do some research. You need more information about this situation. Look into it further before proceeding. Wow, that's very, very similar to the message. Don't compromise on a wise decision, as you will be triumphant, especially if you do some research in it. Vegetarian, a new way of eating gives you more energy, greater health, clarity, and stronger manifestation abilities. So that could be something for you guys about just balancing the health in your body and of course your mind. Oh wow. So you're getting two messages about dietary change. So this could be quite important for some of you. Improve your diet and your life will also improve. So some of you, perhaps it's time to evaluate as you head into this last hurrah of 2020 and start the plans for 2021, that maybe there's some things you could give up or let go of. And most of us have probably had a bit of a lazy year in terms of, well, we were locked down, for quite a while, and so it might have been easy to fall into habits. So sometimes if you've picked up a habit that you want to get rid of, this could be a very opportunistic time to do so. And it might be that your body will be flying high with a change of energy in the foods that you eat. So it could be good for you in many different ways. So things like sugar, alcohol, tobacco, any illicit drugs or even prescription drugs, certain types of food that you might have too much of that might be weighing you down or clogging arteries, too much fatty food or dairy or meat. All of these things could be changed up and could help to bring in more energy as well. So let's have a look at a last card for you guys. It's sort of a mixed bowl going on for your reading, isn't it? There's messages kind of coming from every avenue. Aphrodite, inner goddess. Awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care, and appreciating your divinity. So again, and just another message about self-care for you guys, really looking after your physical perspective, but also your inner well-being. And I think it is a month to pay homage to you, yourself, your being, what you want, where you're headed, where your energy comes from, where you want to put your energy as you head it out and into the domain of your external life. So your inner goddess and your inner being have to match the vibration of your external energy and the external passions and drives that you want in life and what motivates you. So there we are, Aquarius. As I say, it's a very interesting reading in terms of people around you in particular and what decisions you might be making and how you might want to make changes, because I think changes are coming for you, there's no doubt about that. But it seems to me that you're in control of making the changes, and yeah, it's just about where you're focusing that on and how you want to move forward. Great news for a lot of you if you are wanting to look at business changes or starting new businesses up, or cooperations or associations, or possibly even new employment at some level. So I wish you all the very, very best for November as you make your plans and decisions and choices for setting your intentions for the rest of the year and the beginning of 2021. Check your moon and rising sign. Much love to you all. Namaste.